Hello, everyone. Welcome to another snippet on what pharmacists do. Today, I have with me Dr. David Alabi, who is going to talk to us about his role as a pharmacist at Rite Aid. David, you and I go way, way back to pharmacy school. I remember when I got admitted in 2012 and I was going through the first couple of days of orientation, and you showed up and introduced yourself as an upperclassman, as a class of 2014. You were from Nigeria. So right there, I was just like, another African, yay. And you walk me through the school in a way that admissions wasn't doing, in a more friendly, personal way. And you really just put yourself out there, open yourself up to me to help me in any way I could, as far as studies and tips and things like that were concerned. So, and we stayed friends after that. And I truly, truly appreciate that, because you made me feel at that point like it was going to be okay. Like pharmacy school was doable, and I had someone, an upperclassman, to look up to and to come to if I ever needed help. And that was a huge weight off my back. So I don't know if you know that, but that's what you mean to me. And I'm really thankful that you're here to share your experiences with us at Rite Aid. Welcome, David. How have you been?
Thank you. I'm good. Are you?
Good. Thank you again for coming. I know you have two little ones downstairs who are who need your attention, but you kind of took a break and came to sit down and talk with us for a few minutes. So thank you. So let's start by talking about your career path. Why did you decide to be a pharmacist, and what steps have you taken and gone through from moving to the US from Nigeria to working at Rite Aid today in 2022 in the middle of a huge pandemic?
Oh, thank you. When I got to the United States in 2003 precisely, because I like to sing, I was in a choir before coming to the US. And when I got here, I joined my church choir because at the time, they don't really have a drummer, and I used to drum.
Okay.
And
you have so many talents. You're a singer and you're a photographer. We have to talk about that too. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So I met a lady at a time that she was a pharmacist at the hospital, and we got to talk about what she does. And she was telling me about a little bit of pharmacy, the pharmacy world. And the person I was staying with at the time, I asked questions, what career pathway I can, get into. Those people that have been ahead of you know way better than you.
Yeah.
To the terrain of the United States. So he gave me some options: medical doctor, pharmacists, nurses. And it was like, oh, you have to have A's if you want to be a medical doctor. A pharmacist is not like, can't be in a class be getting C's. He kind of challenged me like, you have to be on top of your game to get this stuff. So I put it upon myself that if this is the part I want to go, then I have to be on top of my game. So I started doing a little research on pharmacy field and what it's all about. Coming from Nigeria, what I'm used to is all these, we call them chemists, the drugstore, and people just go in, get whatever medication, and people just tell them, do this, do that, and most of those
just
people
give it to them.
You give it to them, they are not professionals.
Take
different combination. People get 5-4 drugs because they have muscle pain, they have this kind of stuff. So people are just putting stuff in their mouth without knowing what, nobody's talking to people about drug interaction, side effects. And it's good to put drugs in your body, but do you know what they do? Do you know if they are dangerous? And also, it's more than just putting drugs in your mouth, There's other comorbidity that you have to think about. And also the kind of food you eat maybe have drug-drug interaction. People don't know.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
and people don't ask questions about, do you have kidney problem? Do you have liver disease? There's some drugs that if you have kidney problem, you don't take. Or if you have liver disease, you don't take them. But back home, most of those people, they don't tell people, they just give it to them.
Yeah, we don't focus on pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics of the drugs. So that's something that you wanted to know more about.
So a lot of people, coming to the US, and I was so interested to know what does this drug do in the body.
Yeah.
Along the line, I started asking questions. What do I need? My prerequisites. I started taking classes, having associate in biology, then getting to a 4-year college, having biochemistry degree.
Yeah.
Then, doing taking those classes towards the part of pharmacy. At the same time, I found out is more than just having these classes. Because you have other students that are taking the same classes as you had to be in pharmacy, but what makes it to stand out? That's
Yes.
And one of the things I found out is you want to show people that you're really interested in this thing. You want to ask what have you done. So one of the things I did was I got involved in Dana-Farber in Massachusetts. Their drug is a cancer program. We call it kiosk program. So I did that for like a year.
Wow.
Summer, I used to go to Mass General Hospital for cancer programs.
Yeah.
I was in the lab, doing different testing, drug related for cancer drugs. And after doing that, and I went to MIT, I did some research also. So everything is around drug development. So just getting all my knowledge from all those aspects. So print on my resume, make my resume stand out from the other peers looking for the same dream.
I'm glad you're mentioning this because pharmacy school it's like many other healthcare professions is very competitive, right? The applications. And I'm glad you're talking about this because it's one thing to be passionate about it. It's one thing to have the good grades, but everyone that's interested in getting into pharmacy school also has good grades. So how do you stand out? How do you make your application stand out from other applicants to show that you're really passionate about this thing and being involved in research like you have, volunteering at Massachusetts General Hospital, all these things. I'm glad you're talking about them because anyone out there listening that's interested in pharmacy school can kind of get an idea of what they need to do. And then you applied to tour. Did you apply to tour right away or did you get in right away? Because I didn't.
No, I did not. I wanted to stay in Massachusetts because my dad lives there. I have a lot of family.
Your family, yeah.
So I tried to stay over there. So I applying, and one of the problems then was the schools in Massachusetts are very limited. And if you're not coming directly from the high school, getting to the pharmacy school, because that 6-year program is what really tough. So someone with, bachelor's in biochemistry, associate degree in biology, you have to start from the middle, and the seats are very limited because they only call those spot based on how many dropouts they have. So after trying multiple times, because each year, as I was taking those classes, after I fulfilled all my prerequisites, I started applying, but I wasn't getting because you have other candidates or there's no spot. It was really, really hard. So I was after adding all my resume, then I was like, okay, I need one more thing, which is the experience. And I just walk up to one of the pharmacy, Boston Medical Hospital pharmacy. And I just knocked on the door and I spoke to someone that I'm interested in becoming a pharmacist, but I need experience. I don't have one. And I need an internship. And the guy was like, okay, you would like to
just like that.
yeah, you need to meet the director of pharmacy, Dr. Try to remember his name,
Long
And
time ago.
time ago, and I just woke up. I went to his office. We started talking, and I was, oh, that would be awesome. You can come on board. So I interned over there in the pharmacy. They showed me about the pixels for the C2s, the day-to-day activities of pharmacists. So I
Yeah.
could see the whole thing. Then I started doing prepackaging of drugs, multi doses and prepacks, and we started doing all those things. I followed them to the floor, see the IV rooms, how
You
they.
really got your feet wet with pharmacy.
Yep. So I did a 6 months of internship.
Yeah.
Then after that, then I was like, okay, if I try over and over, when you have dreams, it drives you.
Absolutely.
I don't take no for an answer. I think that's one of the things that made me who I am, After trying multiple times, I was like, if trying to stay in Massachusetts is going to hinder my dreams, why not step out of Massachusetts?
Hello. Yeah.
You have to stay out of your boundary sometimes, to achieve what you want. So that's what I did. Then I applied out of the country, out of state. I think I got admitted to University of Pacific in Oregon. No, I got admitted into Cal State, Sacramento, my first attempt. Because they were not fully accredited, Salimel, all those things.
You're taking me back. I remember going through all these things. Yeah.
I was so in love with pharmacy that I will do anything to get that position.
Yeah. Oh man.
And when I got accepted, I was so happy. I was like, finally, the dream come true. Unfortunately, it didn't happen because no loans. I tried like up to like 10 co-signers, denied.
Oh my God.
Tried different things because I got the admission letter. I think I still have it. And I couldn't get it. So because the school was like, either you have to pay out of pocket, and
You kept the admission letter.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God.
Because I couldn't.
Okay, so fast forward. So when do you get in?
Then I tried to. So because I couldn't get into that school because of the
loans that didn't work out. Yeah,
didn't work out. So I was like, I'm not gonna stop here. I have to take it to
you
another
don't take
level.
no for an answer.
Do I apply again for the following year? But while waiting for the following year, then I think I applied to Toro the same year as well. But because I think I couldn't get into Toro the first time. Then I heard about the master's program in public health.
Oh yeah, you did the master's program in public health. I forgot about that.
So I applied to the master's program. And instead of going back home, then I took up the opportunity of being a public health professional as well.
Yeah.
It's still related to what I love to do, So the same year I applied to Pacific University in Oregon. So I got accepted to both Pacific and Toro. But I chose Toro because of their two.
They were accredited, and you could get your student loans much easier.
And everything. And also in Oregon, after the interview, I don't really like the weather. It's like raining all the time. It's like, this is not what I love to do.
You didn't feel it. You didn't connect.
It's gonna slow you down, raining all the time. So I decided to start Toro, and we started taking classes. The beginning was kind of really challenging. I think that one of the things whenever I see, especially like people of color, I try as much as I can, to help them, because I got the same help through someone of color as well when I was struggling at the beginning of pharmacy. And all those things I went through and the tips they gave me, and I would like you to pass it on to other people, because making A's in your undergrad doesn't mean you're not going to struggle in the pharmacy field, in the pharmacy school.
Absolutely.
I think that's one of the reasons why I walk up to you. When I saw you, I saw Glory, and I saw like two other people too. I was like,
yeah,
if I was able to do it and all the challenges I had, I was able to overcome it, then I should be able to help them so that they won't go through the same thing. And I was
yeah,
happy to see everybody I spoke to, all of them are pharmacists today.
yeah, yeah, including myself.
I know.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. I mean, your story really, I think the moral of it is to not stop no matter what. You know what you want. You try and fail, but then you fail forward. You sit back and think, why didn't I get in this time? And you make sure you fix it. And you did that not once, but twice. And you eventually got in and you eventually became the pharmacist that you were dreaming of, and you're doing so well. So now you are at Rite Aid. I think you've been at Rite Aid for how many years? Since
I
you
was,
graduated, since 2014, right?
yeah, I started with Rite Aid as an intern,
Yeah.
and after passing my board, I started as a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like no, maybe like 2 months or 3 months being
Became a pharmacy manager.
became a pharmacy manager, and
Yeah.
I was with them for like 4.5 years as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to take up an opportunity with Rayleigh's as a
Okay.
pharmacy manager. And I
Mm-hmm.
did that for 1.5 years. While doing it, my boss that hired me as a manager left in between while I was at Rite Aid. So he got back to Rite Aid and was looking for me because he thought I was still with the company, and they told him
Oh man.
I went to Rayleigh's. So
You left Rayleigh's and went back because of because of the
yeah,
manager that came back. Wow.
no, actually, what happened was he called me that he got back to Rite Aid, and he had a lot of pharmacy manager position that he's looking for someone competent to take care of them, and he wants to talk to me first, that if I'm interested. And I said no, I want to stay at
At
Rayleigh's.
Rayleigh's. Uh-huh.
And he kept trying. He made multiple calls. Oh, I have this for you. What do you think? How much are you making? If I offer you this, I was like, you know, I'm
Mr.
happy.
Money Man, I know you. I know your ears opened up at that point.
I was like, no, I don't want anything, because at the time I was like, I'm trying to, the management aspect of pharmacy, because with the pandemic, it was, the workload was way too much, and I was thinking maybe I don't want to take up another challenge for now. I just want to, stay where I was. But unfortunately, he was able to convince me at a time, like after like multiple tries, like I would say up to like 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Because he has multiple, it was like, what about this one? What about? Then I was like, okay, if I'm going to come, I don't want to manage. I just want to come. I just want to be like a floating pharmacist for now.
Uh-huh.
I decided what I wanted, because I was doing other things on the side,
Mm-hmm.
IT, trying to do some IT on the side. So I got back to writing because of him, actually, because he really helped me development wise, management skills and everything. And he knows my competency, so.
Yeah, otherwise he wouldn't have courted you for 6 months.
So he called me back. So I was there at one of the store, I floated like one or two places, but he made me to stay in one place because there was a lot of problems over there. And I don't know why he kept me there, because the initial plan was to move around, but he wanted to stay in that specific place. So I was there for I think for 2 or 3 months. I think he knew the manager is going to quit because problem. So that's why he want me to, fix the problem over there. Yeah. So I took it up, and he called me that she's leaving. What about taking the temporary PIC role?
Temporary.
I find a good person, and I was like, oh no, let me think about it. And he came to me like, even though it's a temporary role, what about just take it off for now? Okay, let me give it a shot, Then he said that you train a person to be a permanent pharmacy manager. So I took it up, I started fixing all those things, and the pharmacy was a turnaround anyways. And I have to, because pharmacy, what I found out about pharmacy, community pharmacy, is your efficiency depends on your workflow. So if your workflow is not good enough, it translates to different things: patient care, customer service, adherence, and also profitability of the pharmacy. So that's workflow is the basic, basis of transforming any pharmacy for profitability. So
what kind of workflows did you have?
My workflow is start from whoever is typing all the way to your cashier. So if your typing technician takes care of your customer needs from that spot, and whoever is filling the prescription do it the way they're supposed to do it and get to the pharmacist on time, and everything is a linear workflow all the way. No breakage in between. Get your stuff done, and at the same time, you give yourself a target. I want to achieve this every day, and you have a working workflow. You make sure your paperwork are done on time. You are not struggling to catch up from the following day. At the end of the day, your customer get their medication on time, so that helps adherence. And at the same time, if the medication is not available because you prioritize things that needs to be done on time, you can order the medication prior to when the patient needs it. But if you are behind, then it takes longer days for patient to get medication. That affects continuity of care, and at the same time, medication adherence. So I feel that over time with the team, and from low numbers to higher numbers, customer being happy, keeping them, and everybody that came around, cleanliness also is part of it, and making sure you are always California Board of Pharmacy ready anytime. That was a big thing.
Man,
because if you make sure those things, you don't wait for last minute to do your things. So when they walk in, you already know what the law is. You make sure the dress code, everything is intact, your C2s, your binders. If everything is intact, you don't need to worry whenever they're walking.
Because they don't tell you when they're walking in.
A lot of people get scared. So I always prepare myself and my team to make sure we are not doing things outside what the law says. So we make sure we are compliant. So after doing that for I think within 1 to 2 months, the pharmacy was transformed. And though you have to deal with techs, cashiers, you have some people that
you have to manage the team. You have to take care of the team and make sure everyone's getting along. And it's a whole other beast.
So you have to make sure.
And you're good at that. You have that personality that connects with people and manages people very well. I know that about you. So that's why you're such a great pharmacy manager, and that's why they wanted you so badly.
So after I did I think right now it's gonna be how many months from October to now February. That's how many months?
October to February, that's 4 months. 4 months.
And why I left, I managed for 4.5 years. Since I left, it's been chaotic, difficult.
Excuse me? They can't do without me.
Not really,
I'm kidding.
I know. If you build a standard, for people, to do exactly the same thing is always difficult, because when you have a standard you already built and the customers are used to it, anything below that is going to be a problem for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure.
after I left, they tried different people. It's not really working. My boss keep asking me again, you want to go there 1 or 2 times, go check it out. And,
They still need you somehow, a little bit.
so I went there like 2 times. They saw what I did, and he just came up to me like, was it 3 weeks ago? Like, what about if I offer you a dual PIC position? I was like, what?
Yeah, I thought I was supposed to be here to train somebody and then get out.
And he was able to convince me, with different
So you took the PIC position?
So now I'm a dual PIC, and with a lot of benefit anyways, extra stuff.
All right, congratulations.
Thanks.
I really wanted to talk about your photography side. You mentioned IT. I knew nothing. I didn't know you were doing IT. But tell us real quickly about why you got into photography, because I know you started while you were in pharmacy school, right? Or maybe before, I don't remember. And then
I started before pharmacy school, yeah. Though I was like an hobby, before pharmacy school. And I just love to take pictures, and I mingle with some few friends, and I met someone that we had a conversation, and I was so inspired about what she does about photography at the time.
Yeah.
She tried to, I have passion for electronics, gadgets, so I do buy stuff. So
But photography, I remember, because I saw you do it. It kind of, you were getting paid for photography sessions, and I remember you telling me that kind of helped you get through pharmacy school financially, and then that was a side gig for you after pharmacy school. So it's also a message that I want to put out there, that because you're a pharmacist doesn't mean you can't follow your other passions, because you should, as a matter of fact, because they can help you get through pharmacy school and beyond. Okay, last thing I want to ask you, I think I already know what you're going to say. If you were to give one piece of advice for anyone out there interested in pharmacy school or a career in pharmacy, what advice would you give them?
I think my first advice is you have to be driven first by your passion. And you have to be a go-getter. You don't want to take a no for an answer. And the more you network with people in that field, the better and easier your path is going to be. I think that's one of the things that really helped me. And new people I've met that are interested in, they don't really actually know which pathway they want to go. That's most things I used to tell them, like, okay, what drives you? You really want to know what drives you. You don't want to do things because other people are doing it. Because when the challenges come, there's no way you're not going to get challenges in the pharmacy field, whether in the pharmacy school or while on the job. That passion drives you to keep going.
And it's only that passion that's going to get you through the challenges.
Yeah. And
Got it.
So, and I always tell people too, don't limit yourself to just the pharmacy aspect. There's different, don't limit yourself to one aspect of pharmacy. There's different aspect of pharmacy. Just try talking to different people. You'll find your own particular area of interest that you want to explore.
Or watch our videos.
I know, watch the videos, people have gone ahead of you, they've seen it all. So that will really help you, to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
And also people, especially like immigrants coming from outside of the country, we have a different challenge that we face, totally different from people that, because our background is different. and the language, the accent,
the technology. Because I remember I couldn't put a PowerPoint together. I was like, what the heck is a PowerPoint? Yeah. I had to learn how to type. I couldn't type without looking. I had to take typing classes and to be able to just keep up. Where my 5-year-old son, my 5th grader, I mean, he can type 40 words per minute, and that's because the culture, the environment has trained them that way. But us coming from Cameroon or Nigeria and never having stepped foot in a lab, never having owned a computer or touched a computer, speaking other languages, I mean, it's a different kind of challenge.
Yeah, it's a different kind of challenge. So you have to do extra, compared to other people.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be lagging behind, and you just have to keep going and ask questions. That's the main thing I always tell people.
Yeah.
Don't keep your mouth shut. You have to ask questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though on the field, you have
so good. Thank you. Were you saying something? Did that get you off?
No.
Because you're saying a lot of good stuff right now.
No, I say you just have to ask questions. Even though if you're on the job too, you just have to ask questions, because that's the only way you can learn.
Yeah, that's the only way you can learn, and that's the only way you can grow. And I always, my 3, I think I'm going to call it my mantra, is connect, learn, and grow.
Yep, that's good.
And that's what's worked for me, and that's what I always recommend to others. And you've put it all together in this conversation. If you have any questions for David, you can reach out to me on my Instagram page, The Rookie Pharmacist, or on my website, therookiePharmacist.com. Fill out a contact form with a message, and I'll make sure to connect you with David. David, thank you so much for coming on. And hopefully we have you on more episodes to talk about more specific roles that you play, not only as a pharmacist, but as a pharmacist in charge at Rite Aid. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. Thank you, David, for coming on.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.